But if you train like an athlete, you go beyond the pain barrier, you're doing sets beyond failure, not like Jeff, keeping reps in the tank. If you're one of those, doing supersets, drop sets, doing hard cardio, you most certainly going to benefit from Beta-Alanine. Coach Greg, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 supplements that Jeff Nippard says everyone takes for muscle growth, but the worst ones. And apparently, it's Jeff Nippard included, as I've watched the video, and even Jeff is taking some of these supplements, which he states they don't work to build muscle. And so I'm going to go over the video and agree when he's correct and disagree when he makes mistakes, as everyone makes mistakes.
Let's kick things off with testosterone boosters.
And so the first supplement on the list, the Test Boosters. And had this video been done 5 years ago, I 100% would have agreed with everything Jeff Nippard said.
Flashback.
Test boosters. Sorry, even if it did boost your test, it's going to be so small of an amount for such a short period of time that it's not actually going to make any significant difference in your results. So rather than spending all your money on test boosters for an entire year, get your creatine, your protein powder, your pre-workout. It makes way more sense on your budget.
End of flashback.
However, new research is now available. We have a variety of products which can in fact significantly increase your testosterone levels. And so Jeff says, well, in comparison to injecting 600 milligrams of testosterone, which can increase your testosterone levels by over 1,000, various supplements, they only increase by close to 100. Well, last I checked, close to 100 is in fact a lot. One of which he says is Ashwagandha, which is in a variety of test boosters. And I literally sell Ashwagandha in a bottle on its own, and it's been shown to increase testosterone levels and increase your mood. And Jeff Nippard, he says himself, he takes this 600 milligrams a day. Also, he fails to mention Fedosia agrestis and Toncatali, which Andrew Huberman and others have said these can increase testosterone levels by 100 each.
And the main ones are 2 substances. One is called Toncatali.
Oh yeah, that stuff's real, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so some people who take Ashwagandha, Toncatali, and Fedosia agrestis see significant increases in natural testosterone levels, up to 200 points.
So you said Toncatali can give you 100 to 200?
Yeah, about that.
Well, what does the other one give you?
Fedosia is usually taken at about 600 milligrams.
And so imagine you're at 400 or 500, you take these products, and you go up by 200. Is that not worth it? In my opinion, yes it is. In the past, test boosters had things like tribulus and horny goat weed. They made only small changes in your natural testosterone levels. But in today's test boosters, if they include those 3 products, which guess what? This one does. It's called 3 Test. Literally has Ashwagandha, Fedosia agrestis, Toncatali. If they contain any of those 3, they most definitely can in fact boost your natural testosterone levels. Not saying you all need to run out and get that, but if you do have low testosterone levels and you want to improve them naturally without the use of HRT and so on, then why not give that a try? And so you can get test boosters, including 3 tests, or get them on their own, things like Ashwagandha, and just see. Does that help you? And of course, as Jeff Nippard says, you want to get your quality nights of sleep. You want to have a proper diet. You want to get in the vitamins that you need. But on top of that, you can in fact get a test booster. In my personal opinion, it's not a waste of money if you're trying to boost your natural testosterone production.
The ingredient that looked most promising to me was ashwagandha. And even though this paper cited just 1 study showing a positive effect, I am aware of a few more that also showed an increase.
And so did you notice Toncatali was at the top of the list, yet he doesn't talk about it? It's literally at the top, the number 1 thing at the top, and he just kind of skips over it. And I did see human studies that did in fact support Toncatali. And so why is Jeff Nippard not saying on top of ashwagandha, there's Toncatali? What about Fedosia agrestis? Why is he skipping over this? Has he not watched any videos from Andrew Huberman? Did he not see him on the Joe Rogan podcast?
The most dramatic effect I've ever seen was somebody who had his testosterone down in the low 2s, or I think it was like low 2s, and he got it up to the 700 range, but
Really?
that's an outlier, right? Most people are going to see about a 300 to 400 point increase.
Maybe Jeff just really failed to deep dive into all the newest ingredients in the newest test boosters and relying on a little bit older data. We just don't know.
I personally take 600 milligrams of ashwagandha per day. That's more because of its impact on cortisol, stress, and other possible health benefits, but if it turns out to also boost testosterone, I'll take that as a bonus.
And so Jeff himself says he's using ashwagandha at 600 milligrams, but in comparison to taking testosterone, it's not as much. It's under 100 versus over 1,000. Well, that's still a significant change, and that's just ashwagandha. He never went into Tomcat Elite or Fedosia agressus, and so imagine a supplement with all three of those. But yet, he doesn't talk about that. Does he perhaps want to diminish the effectiveness of test boosters? Is he actually giving a true picture of its effectiveness? 5 years ago, I would have said, great job on test booster, Jeff Nippard. But today, I do feel he's missed out on some of the most important test boosting agents, Fedosia agressus and Tomcat Elite. And so why did he skip out on those? Perhaps he's covered ashwagandha because he personally uses it? But does it sound like it doesn't have any benefit? Jeff Nippard himself is actually using. And so are test boosters, in fact, a waste of money and you shouldn't bother taking them? Well, I'll leave you to make that decision for yourself. And so when Jeff says, you don't really need the test booster, just get plenty of sleep, have a healthy diet, all the micro and macronutrients, get enough fat in your diet and do this, do that. Yeah, of course, it's all great. It's not anything you can deny. But if you're looking for a supplement to aid on top of that, then why not? It'd be like saying you don't need to get protein. If you just eat a lot of calories with a lot of protein from a variety of products, then why do you need whey protein? Well, you don't technically need it, but it can in fact help you if you're deficient or not getting enough protein. And so whether or not you're getting enough sleep or eating a proper diet, you can in fact take a test booster to help. Of course, you should also do all the right things, but you can take a test booster to help in that effect.
Okay, so number 3 on my list is BCAAs.
And so up next, BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. And I do believe for the most part that people realize that what you do want is EAAs. There are 9 essential amino acids. There are 20 in total, 9 of which are essential. You can make the others from those essential 9. And if you're a vegetarian or vegan, not eating a lot of protein, or on a calorie restricted diet, you're eating in a calorie deficit, you're doing empty stomach cardio, you're fasting, then my personal opinion, and the research does support this, is that EAAs can in fact be beneficial. And so I wouldn't say just don't supplement with EAAs. If you like EAAs, if it makes you drink more water because it adds flavor, it's going to add protein. And so if you're already getting in 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, you're eating a ton of protein, then there's no real benefit to adding in EAAs. But if you're deficient in protein, you're vegetarian or vegan, not getting in quality proteins, then of course adding EAAs to your diet, that can be beneficial. And so rather than seeking out BCAAs, please try to get EAAs as they're the essential amino acids that you need in your diet to add muscle. Also, I'll add a caveat, try to eat protein up to 5 times a day. There are 5 opportunities for muscle protein synthesis to occur in any given day. And so it's better to spread out your meals by up to 5 times a day. If you get 3 or 4, it's close to good enough. It's probably arguably almost as good as 5, but if you're trying to be perfect and optimize your diet, try to eat protein 5 times a day.
Number 4 on my list is fat burners. They either lower appetite or they increase energy expenditure through a so-called thermogenic effect.
And so up next, fat burners. And well, this video is supposed to be about building muscle. And so fat burners are not really muscle builders. They're more so things to burn fat. They do so by decreasing your appetite so that you eat less, decreasing the calories in, or it increases your calories out, as in it makes you burn more calories. You can do this through increased thermogenesis or through giving you more energy, allowing you to train harder than last time, do more cardio, or do so at a faster pace. Also, it makes you fidget more, have more energy. You're going to increase your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And so consider this. If you're about to go for a nap, and instead you take a fat burner and go for a walk, do you not think it's going to help you to burn fat? And not only that, if you take a fat burner before you go to the gym, before you start your day, do you not think you have more energy? And through that increased energy level, you in fact burn more calories. And so will fat burners actually help you to burn fat? Of course they will. And why do they do that? Fat burners that contain caffeine and other stims going to give you more energy, you're going to burn up more calories, you're going to move more, and the result, it does in fact help you burn fat. And Jeff is absolutely right. As of late, fat burners have gotten a lot of negative attention. People saying they don't work or they're useless. They are in fact very useful. If I ever go on a diet, I always add in a fat burner. And if I'm going to the gym, I'm going to take a fat burner or a pre-workout that has a stim in it. For example, caffeine. That increases your energy expenditure, allows you to lift heavier, train harder. And if you lift heavier, train harder, that allows you to progressive overload to train harder than last time, and that results in more muscle mass. And so indirectly, a fat burner can in fact help you to build muscle. muscle.
While it is true that caffeine and green tea extract can have some benefit in terms of energy expenditure, it's so small in comparison to diet and exercise that we have to question the practical relevance.
And so he's saying the effect of the caffeine, the fat burners, it's so small in comparison to actually doing cardio. But what if taking that fat burner gives you the energy to do that cardio? You perhaps would not have done that cardio, or you would have stopped at 30 minutes instead of an hour because you didn't have the energy to do it. And so if taking a fat burner is what gives you the energy, the motivation, the desire to do that cardio, then absolutely fat burner going to make a huge impact on your weight loss journey.
And the last supplement on my list is Beta-Alanine. So in this case, it isn't that Beta-Alanine doesn't work, it almost certainly does, just not for typical resistance training.
And so last but not least, Beta-Alanine. I'm like, is he really going to sit there and say that Beta-Alanine doesn't work despite the ton of scientific evidence that supports this?
It isn't that Beta-Alanine doesn't work, it almost certainly does, just not for typical resistance training.
And I was right, he's not saying that. He says, of course it works. However, it doesn't work for people who are simply training the normal way in the gym. They're doing low repetitions, perhaps under 30 seconds, sets of 6 to 15 reps, taking long rests between. And so to do that, you're not going to get a benefit from Beta-Alanine. And so if you train really heavy, perhaps you're a powerlifter, you take long rests between sets, and you don't build up that lactic acid, then Beta-Alanine, that's not the supplement for you. But if you go harder than last time, you do time under tension sets, you're doing supersets, drop sets, sets beyond failure, or you're into cardio, you train harder than last time, you're sprinting on a bike, it absolutely will make a very significant difference. I notice it immediately. I personally like the tingles. Some people don't like the paresthesia, the itchy butthole that people talk about. I like it. It's not overwhelming. Perhaps start slow, take a little bit, ease into it. But for me, I enjoy it. I like the feeling. When I take it, it gets me ready for the gym. I get amped up. I can go in and train harder. And I know when I'm in the gym doing sets lasting close to a minute, or perhaps I'm doing a set under a minute, but I'm not resting very long, moving on to the next set, it buffers that lactic acid. It allows me to train harder, to push past that pain zone, and I get more results. And so in my opinion, Beta-Alanine, one of the most underrated supplements that can in fact improve your performance, whether it be cardio, lifting weights, and the end result, you can build more muscle. And it's not just me, it's also 5-time world champion Matt Fraser saying Beta-Alanine gave him a third lung. Think of it, huge impact. And so if you think Beta-Alanine is not going to work because Jeff Nippard says it doesn't, he quite literally in this video is saying it can in fact improve performance, just not for people who are doing very low rep sets and not using a lot of time under tension. They're not getting that lactic acid. But if you train like an athlete, you go beyond the pain barrier, you're doing sets beyond failure, not like Jeff, keeping reps in the tank. If you're one of those, doing supersets, drop sets, doing hard cardio, you most certainly going to benefit from Beta-Alanine.
So sets under 20 to 30 reps or so most likely won't yield any benefit from Beta-Alanine supplementation. That said, I do think Beta-Alanine is great for endurance training.
And so Jeff himself says for people doing higher rep sets or doing circuit style training or training their endurance, then it is beneficial. And so is it actually an overrated supplement? I don't think so. If you're just a powerlifter, you don't go and do any high rep sets, well, probably not going to benefit you. But for the rest of us, those training like an athlete, those doing drop sets, circuit trial training, and so on, you're going to get results from Beta-Alanine. And also, if you want to know about testosterone, I made a separate video on that. There was too much to say in one video. If you want to see that one, click the link in the description. Also, if you want to get all the harder than last time supplements, the ones we discussed, Ashwagandha, the 3-test, Beta-Alanine, the G-Shred, the Perilite, all kinds of stuff, and the rest, protein powders and pre-workouts, pre-workout pump, all that stuff. Click the link in the description. You want a free training program, close to 20 ages, click the link in the description, become a newsletter subscriber. Don't forget, watch the tube loops, subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. And if you want to get the Circle Diet book, the training books, the cookbooks, the coaching plans by me and my team, click the link in the description. Check out my website, gregdoucette.com. Also, follow me on Instagram, Greg Doucette IB Pro. And until next time, I am out.